Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and I want to welcome you to my messy stamp room. It's been kind of a crazy day today, so if I get a little flustered or act like I'm not really sure what I'm doing, that is why. I just thought of something, sorry. Give me a shout out there if you can hear me, or hear me and see me, wherever you may be. I'm sure you can on YouTube. Yeah, everything's good on YouTube. Good. I am looking for, I think I have too many chat boxes open. Sorry. Darn it. I don't know what happened, but my screen just kind of got messed up. Ah! I hate that when you get new. So I don't usually use, I don't know what happened. Gotta love technology. At least you can see and hear me, right? So I'm totally new, not really totally new. I've had this Mac for a while, and I've really, had to relearn everything. And what happens is I think I got everything under control, and then if I swish on my mouse or something, like swipe it, then it goes to the big screen and I can never get it to go away. So I will, oh wait, I think I see it. Yay! Okay, now I'm not sure. I think I'm back. I think I am. I hopefully didn't shut myself down. And what I need to do is I need to take a little bit of time and find my Facebook gals and guys who might be watching on there. Sorry about this. So I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. I can see lots of people posting on YouTube that they can see and hear me, which is great. I can see and hear you twice. I think I have something else open. Oh, you probably, I hope it's you and not me. Good. Okay, so it looks like we are good on Facebook. They can see and hear me on Facebook. Sorry about this. We will get started. Like I said, it's been one of those days. I will work on that. So then the last thing I need to check is there we go. It looks like people can see and hear me. Cannot hear or see you on the website. If you're on my website, oh, there's people who can see and hear me. Somebody else got back in. Good. Okay. So it looks like we're good to go here. Cool. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Things get kind of crazy, and this has been one of those crazy days. In fact, I came very close to saying, I don't know if I can do this tonight. I have a sweater on, but it's really thin. It's warm tonight. The door is opened. Actually, 2 days ago, they predicted snow, but we didn't get it, so that was good. The pass, we have a mountain pass that opens up usually Memorial Day weekend, and it usually opens, and then by the next day it closes for snow. It did close a couple days this week, which just means you can't go over the mountain. So I only have a sweater on because I have a no sleeve shirt and I don't want my arms to show. So there's that. But other than that, it's been a great spring and summer. Summer is here, I think. And that's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up my slides. We'll go ahead and just get started like we normally would. We're just a few minutes behind. So for those of you who are new, if you check out your check out your adjustments on there. If you're on Facebook, down in the corner where that red arrow is, it says auto refresh comments. And if you're on Facebook and you're typing in a comment to me and it refreshes every 90 seconds. So it will, if you're in the middle of typing something, it's going to refresh it before you actually get it done. And I just wanted you to be aware of that. And then over up there in the top part arrow, there's a top arrow where it has a little gear. Let me pull it over here, right here. That little arrow there, if you're having some trouble with it lagging, if it's jumping around and lagging, it all depends on my upload speed, your download speed. So you can kind of mess around with that little gear and maybe you'll get a better picture or not. I don't know. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm here to answer them. I don't believe I got any questions before we got started, and I just wondered if anybody did have any questions before we get started. But remember, you can always ask while I'm doing my thing. You can ask questions. And the nice thing about me doing this from my stamp room is I can answer them. And if it actually takes showing you something, I can do that too. So I kind of like that. Okay, next one. Where are we here? Oh, this month's June's tutorial is abstract impressions using the Abstract Impressions Designer Series paper. And it's a cute little tutorial, 4 cards, and then a little holder with our clear envelope. Thingamajobby. How's that sound for word uses if I just said thingamajobby? Okay, so I'm going to actually come back on. I'm going to check around for some last minute questions. If people have them, now's the time to ask. And I will... Good. Seems like people can still see and hear me, which is a good thing. Last but not least, let me check the... Okay, doesn't look like any questions from there. Okay, so I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to get started. And I did a little poll for those of you who were on my Facebook event page. There was a little poll that we did for what you wanted me to show tonight. And I had a couple different selections and it was kind of a toss-up. I think that the techniques might have won out, but I also wanted to show some things with the Stamparatus, so it's kind of techniques with Stamparatus tonight. So this is a card that I made. This is the stamp set. This was one of those stamp sets that I absolutely loved in the catalog. I thought it was just beautiful. There's something about this floral. I just loved it. And I love that this matches with one of our punches, which is here somewhere. Here we go. This one here. And this actually had been in the occasions catalog and had a Father's Day stamp set that went with it. So that's what I'm going to show tonight. I'm going to use the accented blooms, but I wanted to show a couple of techniques. Now this is just really straight stamping. So let me show you, because I'm going to use this Stamparatus. I want to show you a couple things here. When I opened this up, this is what the stamp came as, but it had this piece that was inside here just to... when they made the stamp. I pulled that out and I will keep this because you just never know when you might want to stamp that shape in a color or whatnot and punch it out with a stamp that coordinates. So I'm going to keep that. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it will be there if I need it. I will tell you that for the most part, when I'm using my stamps, this is what happens is I open up a box and I start pulling out what I want to use, and I don't put the stickers on because I just want to use them. I rarely put the stickers on my clear mount stamps, only because sometimes if they get the oils on your hands or they got something on them, they don't stick as well. So I just leave those in the container so that they're always there. Then I have this, and then I'll use these stamps. So I'm going to show you what I do with my stamps when I get them. As you can see, I just got this in a box yesterday and opened it up. So what I do is I'll take this piece and I'll pull off the backing. And I will lay this on here. Like so. And then I will go ahead and I will have something then that I can just put my stamps back into, as you can see. So then when they're stored, I know that they're all here and they're not flying around in my box or not flying out when I opened it up. So all of these little spots, I can even do that one in there. Anyway, that's how I keep my clear amount stamps. There we go. And I actually have found myself, I used to be a total wood person, but now I find myself buying the clear because of the Stamparatus. So that's how I store them all the time. And like I said, then when I open this up, they don't go flying and they're all there. I know when I go to put it away, I know if something is missing because I've got that piece of rubber to show me. So there's one little tip I can show you tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you how I did this particular. So I'm going to take a piece of, this is actually our thick Whisper White, and I'll set that in there. And then I'm going to take the stamp and kind of line it up where I want it. Pick up the stamp. I'm going to use Memento because with this particular card here, I actually use the blendability or the blends. So I'm going to just go ahead and ink that up. And one technique is I'm going to try not to stamp the whole thing perfect. So I put ink on there and I stamped it and I pull it up and I see, oh no, I missed a whole section. So the nice thing about the Stamparatus is that you can just re-ink it, go back in, only this time I'll make sure I hit that side too. And when I lift it up, I have the perfect impression. That is one of the things that is great about the Stamparatus is that you don't have to think. So if it doesn't stamp correctly, just do it again. I always put my cardstock up in the, well, I shouldn't say I always. Should never say I always because sometimes I don't. I'll put my cardstock up in the corner and stamp it down. And it just really makes it easy. So if I wanted to do 100 of these, I could just whip them out really quickly and I always have that stamped on that side and ready to go. And then what I did is I just colored with my blends. And it's just really using coral and the pumpkin and daffodil delight. And then I just did a really light, I don't know if you can even see it, but I took the very light pool party and just outlined around all my edges just to give a little bit of dimension. And then I stamped the thank you stamp and I punched it out and I put that up on dimensionals. So this was a 4x4 piece with a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 base. So it's 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. And that will just go into a regular envelope. I was going to add a ribbon and whatnot, but I just really like that. I might add a couple sequins, but I just really like the simplicity of this particular card. So that was pretty easy to make. Okay, let me clean up. I'll just use this. We do have, I'll show you, we do have our own now cleaner, but I left it sitting out so it's hard as a rock. So all I need to do with this is I need to take it into a sink and I need to water it down and squeeze it out. And then I'll actually probably put it into a plastic case like this for our stamps. That'll go inside there. And it remains damp. But I left it sitting out on the counter this afternoon when I got it in here. It was really, it's hard as a rock. So I'm just using a piece of the absorber. Okay. I'll put this away. Let me show you quickly. I made a little template. So this was interesting. This actually came from another demonstrator. So what she did is I just took a piece of our grid paper, and it probably doesn't even need to be grid paper, but it was nice to have it line up with the grid that's underneath here in case I want to get really technical and have everything lined up. So what I did is I took a square. This is like 5, I think it's 5 1/2 with that by 5. And then I took my square die. So this is the biggest square die we have. And I went right to the middle of the piece of paper and I cut that out. And you can line it up because you're lining it up with a grid. So it's fairly easy to do. Once I did that, I flipped it and I cut it this way. so that I ended up with 2 cuts right through my cardstock. And I'm just going to show you quickly what I did with that. I'm going to take this little flower. This is one of those really cool things that you can do with Stamparatus. So I'm going to take the little tiny flower that's in there and put my piece of cardstock down. You know what I think? Oh, here. I knew I had a magnet around here somewhere. Put a magnet down so it doesn't slide away from me. One of the things I find myself doing all the time is I set my stamp up like this, and then I go to pick it up, and of course it doesn't stick because it has to be this way. So I'm just going to set that piece of that rubber in there, and you can kind of see where I'm trying to get it into that, so it's kind of lined up with that triangle. Pick it up, and then I'm going to ink it and stamp it, and then pick my cardstock up and turn it, and ink it and stamp it, and then turn my cardstock. Oh, careful, don't get black on your, careful where you get the black ink. So you can see as I go around here, I'm making a wreath with that little tiny stamp, and everything is going to be lined up perfectly because I used that square piece. So you could do this with a square, you could do it with a circle. Any of your die cuts would work. Like I said, just be careful that you don't get ink on your fingers and get it all over your cardstock. But I'm going to keep going because I do want to show you. You get the idea though. Oh, see, now I got ink on the Stamparatus, so I'm going to come in with my thing here and wipe it down. Anyway, keep going, and what you end up with, oh, let me finish this because I do want to show you another technique with this same piece of paper. And then there's only one more. So you can do that with any stamp. There you go. Ta-da! Then you've got a perfectly stamped wreath, and it's a perfect circle. I could keep it on this piece of cardstock, or I could probably go in with one of my circle dies and cut it out, or even a punch. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down there. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to get your sentiment straight. And one of the things I found that's kind of difficult with the clear mount stamps is that you can't really see exactly where the words are. I better clean this off and move it before I, oh, it wouldn't matter. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of window sheet. So I just cut a piece of window sheet at 6 by 6. I'm going to lay it on top of everything, put down my magnet, so this is window sheet. I'm going to line up where I want my stamp to stamp and hope that I'm correct. But if I'm not, this is just to help you get it set straight. So let's say you're making, 100 of these wreaths, or you have a circle punch or whatnot that you want a sentiment to be right where you want it. You're going to set this up, stamp it, look at it, make sure that I did pretty dang good. I'm really happy with that setup. Now, if it had been crooked or anything, I could adjust this. I actually did a really good job. Dang, I'm proud of myself. So I'm going to pull this piece off, and then my grid is set to go. So I ink up my stamp and stamp it down, and I get it right exactly where I want it. Does that make sense to people? So this piece was just to help me line it up. So let's say I put it on there and it was just a bit crooked. I could move that around a little bit, whichever way it needed to go, till I was happy with exactly where it's going to place it. And now I'm ready. I could stamp lots and lots and lots of these. And I'm just amazed. I've never been one to really care about things being totally straight. But I sure like that. The other thing I like about this is we're using this die, this square die. So if I've got this piece and I'm going to do a little scallop edge, I can just pull the scallop edge right out of the die pack, and it's going to coordinate perfectly with this square that I've already cut. And everything is lined up perfect. Ta-da! I also did a grid. I like this one because it matched up with the dies. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably just put like this piece of paper, I'll just toss into the envelope that I store my dies in so that it's always there with the square dies. I did another one where I made a bigger square. I made a big 4-inch square. And just to show you, like this piece of paper fit on there. And then let me see what I can do. I'll just use this one. So we're going to use this. And let's say we want it stamped on each edge. Right in the middle. So I'm kind of line it up with that triangle. I'm going to pick it up. Oh, see what I mean? Let's go this way. Pick it up. Ink it. Stamp it. And then if you just turn it on my little grid here, I could put the magnet down too on that, but I don't think I need to. Ink it up. Stamp it. Turn it. Ink it up. Stamp it. Turn it. Just like that. And then all of my always thinking of yous are exactly in the same spot on each side. So just some fun ways to just make your stamparatus work a little further for you. Like I said, I used the die cuts to cut this one. This one I just drew out on paper as a 4x4 square. And then I just grabbed a piece of acetate window sheets. And I'm using Memento on that, so it wipes right off. If you're going to use Stays-On, remember it's probably going to stick or stain it. But that's all right. It's not the end of the world. I hope that makes sense to people. I'm going to run over and check questions, and then I got some more stuff to show you. Okay, let me flip the camera. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. You got to do the right one. Okay, it looks like I got tons of questions. So I am just going to do a quick scan. If I missed your question, let me know. I like the accented blooms. I do too. Cool tip. What's your order? That's what I ordered this month. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So the cleaning cloth, somebody put up here, you need to let it dry out or it will mold if it's kept in a closed place. I use it enough and clean it enough that but like I said, I left it out today. I do it all the time. I do it with my chamois too. You could also just move the cardstock underneath the window sheet and magnet it down so wouldn't have to fiddle with the stamp maybe several times to get it where you want it. You could also move the cardstock. Absolutely you could. Once you've on that clear window sheet, once you've stamped wherever, then you can move your cardstock. I see what you mean. Good idea. Another cool tip. There you go. Yeah, you're right. That's a good idea. Duh. I like that. I like when people come up with good ideas. So thank you for your help there. Template was really simple to make. So looks like Diana or Jewel said, we'll have to make one. And I do the same with my stamps too. Yeah, just with those templates, just hang on to them forever. I mean, put them in there. It's just a piece of paper. So, okay, I have to check. It's harder for me to check the website. Okay, Mary Sue is on the website. Aloha from Hawaii. Linda, I hope everything is okay with you down there. It's been kind of a strange month for you guys. Are we the only ones losing you? You're doubling up and you're saying and then you freeze. Oh, I hope not. It might be your hotel internet connection. I got your check, by the way. Hi, Elaine. Good. I'm glad you made it. Okay, so it looks like everybody's able to see and hear me and hasn't asked anything that I couldn't answer at this point. Good. It also gets smelly being closed up. Yeah, it does. You're right, Karen. But the other thing that I'll do is Like when my chamois get really dirty, I just toss them into my washing machine. I don't really put much soap in there and just rinse them out really good in a short cycle. And then I don't dry them. Then I just squeeze them out. They're pretty dry when they come out anyway, and they're good to go. So cool. Okay, I'm going to flip back over. If nobody, well, let me see. Let me check. I'm going to see if there's what my slides are here. That's a template. We talked about that. Those are the stamps that I used in those are the stamps that I used in the tutorial this month. And I just love those dies and I love those stamps. It's hard. This is a hard catalog to decide what to do first, in my opinion. That paper is gorgeous. I'm going to show some paper too. And these projects are to die for. Cute stuff. Okay, so there's the code. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to show you some papers because I did a paper share and I got to order all of the various papers to look at while I was splitting them up for people. And I actually was shocked at some of the papers. Let me move some of my stuff here. Some of the papers that I liked that I didn't think I would. So let me grab them. I'm not going to show you them all, but this paper here, I didn't think I was going to like it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at those handles with the gold foil. So these all have gold foil. This one I had to keep because I see I cut it wrong. Cute balloons. I like the black and gold stripe. Little party hats. Polka dots. Cakes. Confetti. Stripes. Stars. Silver. And numbers. I really they were kind of fun. I just thought they were really fun. So this tea room specialty paper, this is like about the weight of copy paper. So it'd be great for envelopes or for envelope liners. But isn't it beautiful? Look at it. Gorgeous. I love the colors. I love the of course, Bermuda Bay is my favorite color. So this paper is the tea paper, and then this is the tea tin. And it's so cute. It's copper. It's beautiful with these papers. I just think this is really pretty. And we have a cute little tea shop here in town that's right down the street. And I might have to make a couple of cute things just to go down there and give to the owners because that tea paper is too cute not to share. Okay, so this was the paper that I was blown away by. This is 2 sets. So let me get out the... There it is. This is called Animal Expedition. And when I saw the whole suite of Animal Expedition, I thought it was okay. But I was like, nah, I probably would never use that paper. But wait till you see how stinking cute that one was. Some of these are, there we go. Okay, so we have this one. Look at those alligators. They're adorable. And then we have the gray. And then we have the hippopotamuses. How stinking cute are they? Look at them. Adorable. And then these are just some really wild, fun colors. And then look at the little birds. I love this paper. Totally love this paper. And then there's that beautiful lemon lime. And then the frogs on the branches. Cute. And even if I never get the stamp set, I'm making stuff with these cards because look at all those little animals. They're just so cute. And then these, look at them. They're cute. That was the cutest paper. I didn't expect it to be that cute. So I was glad that I'm going to end up putting it on. That's right. I want to make sure I get this in here because this was an extra packet I had for my paper share, but I already had one person call me and say, hey, one of the packs was not what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so, and here's another pack, and this was under the mistletoe, but this is really pretty Christmas paper. So I love both sides. I love the plaids. That's kind of wild, but that's okay. Wild's fun. Christmas time anyway. Look at that. Beautiful. And the greens, and then I just think those are really fun. I love the deer. Anyway, some fun papers. And then this side is the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So you've got the various colors. And it isn't very crazy, but you know, it's a beautiful set for babies. I just found out that one of my good friends is going to be a grandma, so we're going to have fun with this because she loves the color navy, and then we have this beautiful paper, so we'll have fun with that. And then I also got a kit. I'm going to put that on. I got a kit, and this was one of the kits that I loved in the catalog. Let me grab it. It's the Notes of Kindness kit. So this, you get the pack of all this stuff in it to make these cards. This is the stamp set, which I love. Maybe if I put it down there, you can see it better. I just thought it was really, it's kind of fun. And then we're going to go into the cards that it makes, and they're really pretty. They were really fast. They were easy. It's got a lot of dimension to it. Got some copper coral and then some pearls. But aren't they pretty? It's kind of a fun kit if you're just looking for something quick and easy and fun. And then they have these cute envelopes lined that go with it. So that was fun. I'll go check and see if anybody has any questions. I'm kind of looking around to see. I thought there was something else I was going to show with the Stamparatus. But I think I might have to get a different stamp set because there is one more thing I'm going to attempt to show now. When I show this, I'm going to tell you right now. Ooh, careful, because your magnets will pick up the framelits. So let me check for questions, and then I'll come back to and show one last technique. So this would be a good time if you have questions to ask. Let's see. Can you machine wash the Stampin' Up! Chamois? Yes, you can. I got the paper. Thank you for doing that, Cher. Oh, you're welcome. Good. I'm glad you got the paper. Oh, I think that's a great idea. Denise has a ceramic frog that she has her sponges in, and she stores her chamois in it too. Yes, living in Florida, Karen, you have to have that alligator paper. That is like the cutest. That paper to me is just cute. Like I said, I didn't see that one coming. I didn't expect that one. Yep, put the DSP, the designer series paper. We say DSP as demonstrators it means designer series paper. Hi, Rosalind from New York. Punch a small hole in the corner of mine and it hangs on a hook on the side of my desk. I just get it wet when I'm ready to use it, and then I hang it to dry when I'm done. That works perfect. Tips for cutting the delicate laser designer series paper. You know what? I haven't even touched the designer series laser cut paper. I have it here, but I just looked at it. It is very delicate, and let me play with it, and the next time I'll do some fun things. I would just, like the ones that are really big and delicate, I probably would just snip apart and cut them up and use just little bits and pieces of it, or sections of it for a card. But let me play with it. I haven't really played with it. Yeah, the Clearmart stamps do come with labels, and I have the labels. I just haven't put them on. Oh, Rhonda says she has trouble when I place cardstock in the corner of my Stamparatus. It always doesn't stamp well. Any suggestions? What I've heard is there are a few people that are having some issues, and I think it's kind of like the Big Shot. Everybody's just a little bit different. Some people have put like just a piece of like the chipboard that comes with our DSP. It's not very thick, just a piece of white chipboard 6x6, and slid it under there and used it. I think it's mostly troubling when you're using the photopolymer stamps. Some people have used our craft mat as a little bit more of a cushion. Sometimes you just need a little bit more. And if you put just a little piece of paper square underneath everything, and then your cardstock, and then stamp on it, I think you'll find that it works fine. Rhonda, I don't have any issues with mine, so I don't know if it's just the way I'm pushing on it or if it's just the way mine's done. Yeah, I love the paper shares too. I had not done one for a while, and I could not believe how much paper I had to cut. But I did. I spent my whole weekend last weekend cutting paper and ribbons and getting it all out. So that was awesome. Where do you get the wood grain looking paper? Oh, where I do my work on. Okay, so you'll see it, and it's got stamping on it too, because it's just piece of paper. Actually, what it is it's bulletin board paper. You can get it at a school supply store, teachers, anywhere a teacher's going to get bulletin board. It comes like a big sheet of gift wrap. And so I have it wrapped around a self-healing mat. So it looks like wood grain. Yeah, so that's where I get that. Okay. A few more questions. Elaine says the catalog may be the best one yet. She's been cruising for 15 to 16 years. Elaine, I'm going to probably have to agree with you. And I think part of the reason is it's so vibrant. There's just so much fun. The colors, the color refresh made a huge difference for the whole catalog. But the samples, I mean, look at the front page. Oh, I love it. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. And so, yeah, I do. I love the samples, and I love the colors, and I love the papers. And yeah, it's a good one. They outdid themselves this time. Just when I think I don't need anything else. Just when I think I don't need any more flowers, along comes a Stampin' Up! Catalog, and I decide I need several more flower sets. Perfect. It looks like I answered everybody's questions. So let me flip my camera back. I'm gonna go attempt something that I saw another demonstrator do with the Stamparatus. And let's see if I can get it to work. So I have to find, okay, so here's the, whoever was having issues with the corners of your Stamparatus, this is our craft mat, and if you just put that there, I mean, it's very thin. That would probably be enough to change whatever it is you're having issues with. The other thing I said is like even like a piece of our thicker cardstock. Just something, and then you can go ahead and stamp. Let me grab a stamp. I should have actually looked for this earlier, because it's going to be hard. Okay, well, we're going to give this a shot. So I'm going to take this piece of cardstock. This is just a piece of cardstock I had sitting there. Oh, I can't use that one. That's wood. See, that's what's going to happen. Okay. We're going to try it with this cute little bee from Dragonfly Dreams. And I've got this little bee here, and I'm going to put this bee here. And then I'm going to flip it over, pick it. Oh, you know what? It's not going to work for me because when you're using photopolymer, you need to make sure that you have that piece of foam in there. And because these magnets are so strong, even with that craft mat under there, it's still going to be strong enough. So you want to make sure that you've got the piece of foam. I've got that little piece of craft mat. So I'm going to ink up my bee, stamp it down, make sure I liked it. I think that's good. I think that's got enough black on it. Then what I'm going to do, here I go with my, something I should have tried before I got started. So I have this bee here, and I want to do another bee here, but flying that way. So I'm going to pick up my bee, and I'm going to want it to go, no, that's not right. I was trying to do a reflection, but a bee, if I wanted that, I could just do that. Don't try this at home. Sorry. It won't work. Okay, I'm going to try it with this. Sorry. We're going to try it with this big flamingo. So I'm going to start by stamping the flamingo here. Pick that up. And then I'm going to get, I don't want to do it in black because it might turn out so nice that I want to use it. So I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to open up my case. So if you haven't seen the new ink pads, this is what they look like. They open up like a compact. They work great. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. Stamp it down. If I don't think I have enough, which I think actually I might have too much ink on there, go ahead and ink that up again. Then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock. I'll just take this piece. We're going to lay this down here. Now, if I didn't want to get ink on this side, I would put a piece of paper there, but I don't care. I'm going to stamp that down. And what I get is I get a flamingo. Can you see it? So it's going this way on this side and this way on this side. And actually, if I cut that out, you'd have a flamingo on both sides of your die cut. But this particular set doesn't come with a die cut. Does that make sense to people? Let me try. Let me show you with overlay, because it can't really tell that it's a flamingo. We put that on there. I'm going to pull this one off. Pick that one up. Take my chamois. And I'm using this rubber mat, so it just wipes right off. Do I use a different color? Oh, I'll just use this color. We'll see how well it goes. Stamp it. I would ink it up twice, just because you want to make sure it's good and inked. Then you're going to take your piece of cardstock. You're going to slide it in. Now be careful so you don't slide over that ink. And then stamp your flamingo. So now you got a full flamingo here, and you got a full flamingo on this side. And if I cut those out, it could be like a spinner card because there'd be a flamingo on each side. So that's fun to have this craft mat to do that with. It works because this is made of rubber, so the ink doesn't stick to it. The other thing that you can do is I can make a flamingo this way, and then I can do the same. Just have to think for a minute. So if I put the flamingo here, right, pick it up. Now remember, I'm doing this on the fly. I'm going to do a little more ink because I want to make sure it's good and inked. Take my piece of paper. Put my piece of paper on there. Oh, never mind. What I was supposed to do was just do the regular flamingo. So let me show you. Dang it. I don't really need that piece of rubber there. I just need another piece of cardstock. Put it on there. Stamp it. What you end up with is, see? So you have a flamingo facing this way and a flamingo facing this way. So like if you have a little mouse stamp or something, you can make them look at each other. Or you can make them so that when they're cut out, you have a flamingo on both sides and it's actually in the exact same spot. I hope that makes sense. I will work on that technique. I just saw that, heard about that today, and honestly hope that I would have had time to practice a little bit. But you got to see me live practicing, so I hope that makes sense. So share your ideas with me. Yeah, you need a directional stamp facing one way or another. Bingo. I will be watching this part at least 20 times for the flamingo in slow-mo. Yeah, really, once you do it, so it's any stamp that you have. Let me see what I got here. Like this little bird. See that little bird right there? You could do that with that bird, and you could do two birds looking at each other, or two snails. It would flip it around and look at each other. I hope that makes sense. Somebody did it with giraffes. No bees were hurt in this experiment. No, they weren't. I just wasn't thinking. Yeah, careful of the magnets. Yes. Yeah, if you have a Stampin' jig, whatever that little piece of plastic is, that works great. I'm just quick going through questions, so if I miss it, let me know. I cannot get the flamingo lined up no matter what I do. You know what? Stamp on the flamingo, stamp the boldest stamp first in a light color. And then it should line up really that's the hardest. And once you figure it out, you'll get it. Oh, the rubber mat, I just wipe it. I just had it with a cloth and I just wipe off the ink. I'm only using classic ink. I'm not using my StazOn. If it was StazOn, it would have stained it. So I just wipe it off. I'm running quickly to look for questions. We're getting close to being done. So if you have a question, now would be a good time to ask. Yeah, Anna, the paper share is awesome. It was fun. It was fun to do. The foam piece that I use for the photopolymer comes with the Stamparatus. So it's part of it. Georgie, if you lost sound, I'm sorry to hear that, but I think it's still working here. So it must be on your end. Okay. A few more things. We got a little giveaway to do. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Remember that I am doing packets this month using the Artist Impression stamp set. That's what the tutorial is. You bought 2 Stamparatuses, so if I get a triple stamp right, I just leave it and then use the other for something else. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. Okay, so that's the hostess code. So anything that's over $40 gets a card kit in the mail that coordinates with my tutorial. Everybody that places an order gets the tutorial, and it's all about the artist impressions this month. So we're getting ready. There should be a link on my website, on YouTube, for the door prize drawing. It should look like this. The actual slip should look like this. It is, like I said, on my Facebook, on YouTube, and on my website, and it's down in the comments area. So what happens is everybody fills out the door prize slip, and it all populates into a Google spreadsheet that I can check at any time, and I pick a number beforehand, and then whoever wins gets something fun. And tonight we're going to give away a new hostess set. So I will continue to look for, while you guys are filling out the hostess or the door prize slip, I will keep looking for questions. And we do have a winner. So the number tonight was 47. Got it written down here on a piece of Post-it note that sits by my computer. That is the number that wins, and that means Jenny Basel won the door prize slip. So the door prize, so she gets to choose. These are the 4 I have. You can choose from, Jenny. So you can choose some springtime stroll, which I think is cute. Hand delivered. You see those little legs, and then she goes behind the balloon or the sign with all these little stamps and cake and all kinds of stuff she can hold in her hands. Very vintage, which is just a really fun vintage set. Or my favorite, pressed flowers. I think this one's beautiful. I think it reminds me totally of a project that I did with my daughter in a Girl Scout troop when they were like, I don't know, 1st or 2nd grade at camp. So I loved pressed flowers because that's what we did. So anyway, Jenny, you won. Just let me know which one you want, and I will get it out in the mail to you. If anybody has any questions. Cindy says she missed the start, but you know what? It's all taped, so you can watch it over and over and over again if you need to. I wouldn't, but you could. I will do another one. Let's see, what's today? The 14th? I'm going to let me look at my calendar. Yeah, I'll do one the last week in July or June. So not next week, but the week after, I will have another live event. I'll either do it on a Thursday. I don't know. Thursday night is usually my best night to do it, but sometimes it just works that Friday or Saturday works. So I will make sure that I get word out to people. So as long as nobody has any more questions, thank you all for coming. I hope you learned something. Hi, Mary. I will answer your questions. I'll be around. So if you have other questions that I didn't answer, you can always send me an email at diane@DDStamps.com and I can email you back, or you can. Elaine says, I see I need more stuff. Sorry. That's what always happens, isn't it? Well, that's what happens to me too. So I got a lot of stuff I can play with. I just need to find a little bit more time. Today was one of those days I thought I was going to get to stamp, and I ended up in meetings all day with things for the city. So anyway, take care, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Let me know if, oh, Barb, if Thursdays interfere with bingo, I totally understand why you go to bingo. So I get it. Anyway, take care and have a good night. Bye.